What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. At the beginning of this video I've got an announcement for you guys. The Rebel Alliance, which is the X-Wing clan, and that group of clans is hosting a Wargaming sponsored 3v3 tier 8 tournament on December 7th and 8th. It's going to be at standard tournament time, which is 9 p.m. Eastern. You can see the prizes here. First place, you're going to get 4,500 gold per team, so split between the people. Second is 4,000. Third is 3,500 gold. Join their server if you want to participate. Even if you don't win, it's going to be a lot of fun, and if you're trying to learn how to play tournaments, it's a good way to get started. They also have tournament teams in their clan family, so I'm sure there's going to be some semblance of recruitment going on at this event. So if you're looking to get into comp, which I know a couple of my commenters have talked about not knowing how to actually get into that, if you're on the NA server, this is really a good way to get started. So with that said, let's get on into the video. And if this was not titled what it is, I would probably title it beginners beginners movement throughout the game, because these games are very simple. Both of them kind of have the same gist. The enemy team really goes heavy on one side, like very aggressively, and in this case our team meets them, and this is my movement when this happens. So I go to my normal starting position in the middle there, and then I see that they have 3 medium tanks here supported by my whole team. Now the reason I come back to this side is because if I stay in mid and just keep spotting, I'm not spotting for anybody because my whole team is on this side of the map, and yeah, it'll show them that there's players on the other side coming around, but they're not going to be able to take advantage of that or do anything. What we need to do is we need to kill these 3 in corner so that we can control corner, because if their team flanks through the middle or flanks through the town and we're still fighting this corner fight, we're going to get pinched and we're probably going to lose the game. So what I need to do is I need to go in and I need to start getting my gun going and killing these guys as quickly as we can so that we can occupy the corner. I'm being really aggressive here, but that's the advantage of having a smaller profile light tank like the T100. It's harder to hit, it's very sneaky. While the Vickers Light would have gun depression and probably be able to farm more damage, there's just something to be said about the actual physical size of this tank. So now this T100 is the last guy left in corner. Our meds have kind of approached up to corner, and the things stopping our heavies and our tank destroyers from continuing forward are their tank destroyers. So we're going to put a couple shots into them. I wait for the WC to fire, and then I kind of make this decision late, but I am going to go behind this T100. And at this point, he is forced to just drive somewhere, and he drives towards our team, tries to get a shot off, and is eliminated. Now, this game is pretty much over now that we have corner. You can see their team tried to come back for us. Didn't really end up working. If they had flanked early on, they probably could have had a better result in this battle. Just because, like I said, if our team, our heavies are fighting, our mediums are fighting in the corner, and then all of a sudden they're getting shot in the sides and rear by a WZ, a T30, a K91, and all that, they're not going to have a really good time. I also like showing this battle because this is an example of using the T100 not as a light tank, but more as a medium-based role, because there's times that you have to play like that. You can't always just be the scouting light tank that you would want to be. Sometimes you have to be aggressive, and I don't think that there's generally a lot of gameplay. I know I have a couple of compilations of me being aggressive, but I don't think there's a lot of gameplay on YouTube of people successfully being aggressive in a T100. Most of that content is probably based around scouting. If I watched more YouTube, I would know, but I'm just going to make a general assumption there. Second game here, it's going to be the same sort of idea, and this is an important lesson number 2 here, is that always go with your team. I've said this a bunch of times, I'm just going to reiterate it anyway. I know a lot of my viewers will already know this. I mess up my driving really bad here, but I see that my team is not going to be going C, so I can't go to corner. Initially, I want to do this boost here, but I messed it up because I hit that rock. I needed more speed than I have. Usually I would go up here and I would look across to see what medium tanks are crossing to see. This works if you're going slightly faster than I am, but unfortunately, like I said, I hit the rock. Now, while that happens, there's a Kronvon that just drives into mid, and I'm not going to try to do anything but take advantage of this because he's driving out and I'm the one creating the crossfire. There's teammates directly in front of him shooting into him, but if I keep his tracks off and start farming his side, as you can see, he's trying to angle to me and them, and since I'm 90 degrees away from my team, he can't angle to both of us, and we can just keep putting in our 3,500 DPM into him. They have 4 heavy tanks basically in the same spot, which is their entire team, and we know where one of their tank destroyers is. Now, the unknown factor is the T100, and I didn't get to spot to see if he went to the corner here, so I'm going to go to the corner now. Since I know that there's only one T110 E4 not spotted, he's generally not going to be in this area. So I know that it was just probably going to come down to a 1v1. We both bounce each other, and since my team is less less clustered up than his, I assume that's why he runs here. Now, I try to get a quick shot here, but I don't want to get shot by the grill because then he'll just come back and win the 1v1. So I let him run, and I decide, well, he's going back to his team, and that means that literally every single one of them is in the same spot, so I'm just going to come back too. There's no reason to chase him when I can just go back to that position that I initially had with all their heavy tanks and free farm. And like you see here, it's definitely free farm. That E4 is now spotted. He's in mid. He's turning towards me, but like I said in the last replay, this tank is so small, like, you can get away with doing stupid peeks and not getting hit just because the gun accuracy is something like an E4. The chances of him hitting your turret are very low. It's obviously a risk that you don't need to take, but if it gets you damage and you have the HP like I do in this example, it's worth it. Now, we see that the light tank is a one hit. We put one shot into him earlier, and we're just going to focus him down because this game is really close. It was just a 3v5, now it's a 3v4. In addition to just wanting to get the kill, like I always say, he's the most deadly tank in a situation like this because he has the view range. You can't hide from their team if somebody's constantly spotting you, and he's the only one that can really outspot me. Not outspot me, but he has the same spotting because he's the same. Now, we're set up for a pretty good situation here. It may look bad, but we have the 183 kind of distracting the one-hit chieftain. Their other best player is the Kronvon, who's also on a one-shot, and then they have a grill and an E4. I can outmaneuver a grill and outspot a grill pretty easily. An E4, he's half HP, and he's very slow, so I'm not worried about him. The grill would probably chase me, and I could single him out, and then I can kill the E4 or the Kronvon next. Here, this is like the fourth random bounce shot of the game. That one was really important. Very upsetting that that bounced, but right now we're in a 1v3 situation. The grill is kind of getting very aggressive here because he knows that he has HP, but he made the mistake of underestimating my gun accuracy, and I'm always going to go for the track when it's a tank destroyer coming at me. And he used his repair kit earlier on in the game, and he doesn't have it now when he needs it most. The E4 is now coming up, and right as I'm reloading here, he just gets in front of me. So I drive our way, and I'm trying to keep my tracks toward him, because if he lands an AP shell, I'm not too concerned about that. But if he lands an HE, which he tries, but he only gets 300, I would be low enough to get one-shotted. So I'm glad that he does try the HE, because that means that now, since he didn't pen it, I can just peek this grill. Very good shot by him, well aimed. I wasn't actually expecting him to hit that. Now, the other thing that happened that I didn't mention when it happened, when I got shot with HE by the E4, I actually lost my commander. And the reason I'm not going in now is because my view range is significantly worsened by my commander being lost. Now, someone correct me if I'm wrong with my math or the fact that I think the commander loses 50% of your view range, but if if the commander does lose you 50% of your view range, my 271 meters is half to 135, and with his 30% camo while stationary, or while moving, I will spot him at approximately 38 meters away, and with his standard view range of my camo net, he'll spot me at 96 meters. So that's why I didn't go in there, because I'm actually going to be outspotted by the Kronvon, and I didn't know these exact numbers in the game, and again, I don't know if they're actually perfectly right, but you get the idea. That's why I didn't want to go in, and as soon as I can repair this commander, I do. I think that he's going to be down here to the left, just checking this area, because this is a holding area right here that he can really easily defend from, and it actually happens that he is there, and he wasn't fully set up yet, so it's a good thing I got in there when I did. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed watching some farming and some beginner-ish movement that maybe you guys can apply easier than some of the other videos that I make. And again, check in on the Rebel Alliance with their tournament, their 3v3 tournament, if you want to win some free gold and potentially get into some comp.